country is in turmoil right now, as I'm sure all of you know. Beyond all that, beyond all of the split that's going on in America right now, we're all still Americans. Today is Flag Day here in America. Here in the small town of Opp, they have deployed all of their American flags. There is American flags everywhere that, unless it rains, will stay up through the 4th of July. It's Flag Day. For this episode today, I am going to do something a little different. Actually, I have a couple of episodes planned coming up here in the near future that are going to be different than what I normally do. Just trying out a few new things. We know we can talk about true crime, and obviously we know we can do daily vlogging. We can do filming locations. We can do all kind of stuff. And I'm going to try out a couple of new things. Hopefully you guys like them. The first one, starting today, I don't know if you could tell by the title, but because we are Americans, we're all Americans, regardless what side you fall on, we're all Americans. America just accomplished something that we haven't done in a long time. And you guys know by now that this is a favorite topic of mine. I'm talking about going to space. We just launched American astronauts into space for the first time in almost a decade. 2011 was the last time. It just happened, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. When that event occurred, I did a live reactions type video, because that was a huge milestone, a huge accomplishment for America and American spaceflight and all Americans, regardless of who you are. Today I am going to delve into a specific topic relating to it. Like I said, it's going to be different. It's not a type of video that I normally make, but it should be still a lot of fun. And then after that, I've been getting a lot of messages and a lot of emails asking about the movie that I am working on presently. I will let you know what's going on with that as well. As soon as we get back from the intro, we'll get right into it. If you missed my video yesterday, then you didn't see I got a new toy. This is it here. The Mattel hoverboard. On the bottom of it, it even has the Back to the Future logo. I showed it in yesterday's video, and I even tested it out a little bit. One thing that a lot of you probably don't know about me is I do like to collect movie memorabilia. So I have the hoverboard. I also have the gray sports almanac. I have one of the hats, like Marty's son wore in Back to the Future Part 2, the real colorful. And I have a bunch of other stuff from other movies and TV shows besides Back to the Future. The Dukes of Hazzard, Indiana Jones, Batman, The Shining, The Walking Dead, you name it. If I can manage to get a hold of a movie prop or a screen used item or just a replica of any type that I think is cool, of one of my favorite movies or something to that nature, then I like to add it to my collection. I even have some Star Wars memorabilia. I have in my possession the first 12, the original 12 1977 Kenner action figures from Star Wars. And I even have some of the weapons and lightsabers that go with them, which are really rare. Those are hard to find because growing up, kids, usually those got chewed up or lost or something. But one day, I will I'll go through my collection, because man, I got some really cool stuff. Some stuff that some of you probably never even seen before. So it would be really cool to show you all of that. But not for this video. We're not going to do it in this one. I was about to say something, but my neighbor who lives right here in this house told me that the other day he was coming in from work. He said he saw a snake coming from behind these sheds, like going out towards the road, and it went across the street towards my mother-in-law's house. He said he got out and killed it. That's kind of scary, but as hot as it is out here right now, I guess that's kind of to be expected. But moving on, a little over a week ago, SpaceX and NASA launched the first 2 astronauts into space in nearly a decade. Since that launch, SpaceX has launched like 3 more rockets since then. They've been launching what they call the Starlink satellite network up into space. Basically, Elon Musk, who owns SpaceX, he wants to create this huge cable network for everybody to be able to watch TV all over the world for cheap prices. If you follow that kind of stuff, you know that SpaceX, their whole goal is to create inexpensive space travel. They want to be able to get rockets into space and get them back home as cheap as possible. Well, one way that they go about doing that is reusing rocket parts. They launch their rockets into space, and then the first stage, the very bottom stage, the large section, falls back to Earth. And this is just a caveat to that. A while back, they launched their Falcon Heavy, and it was like the most awesome thing to watch in the entire world, because SpaceX, here, I'll show you the clip.
Stage 1, landing legs have deployed. Stage 1 is landed. Landing zone, side boosters have landed.
That was the most incredible thing ever, watching that live, is all 3 rockets landed and landed perfectly. None of them fell over or blew up or anything. It was amazing. But that's their thing, okay? But have you noticed, those of you who watch these things, when those rockets come in and land on the drone ship, not necessarily on the launch pad, but when they come in and land on the drone ship, right before it lands, it's like the most anticlimactic thing ever, because right before it lands, you get the screen that says, "We have lost communications with the drone ship." And then a few seconds later, it picks back up and the rocket's landed. If you've ever wondered why it did that. When SpaceX launches a rocket, they fire its engines, sending it up into outer space. And just after it gets past Earth's atmosphere, it separates. Stage 2 will have the crew or the supplies, and it goes off on its own mission, while the first stage falls back to Earth with the hopes of it landing to be reused in a future mission. At the same time, SpaceX has drone ships out in the ocean. These drone ships are affixed with cameras, and they send a signal up to a satellite in outer space. As the rocket is falling back to Earth, they deploy its landing legs, and then they fire its engines. When they fire the engines, it causes so much of a vibration in the drone ship, it causes the signal to go haywire and lose the satellite. Once the rocket has landed and they shut its engines off, the satellite signal is able to be reacquired, and that's why the signal cuts out just as the rocket's landing, but then we pick it right back up as soon as the rocket has landed. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot they could do about it. The only other options would be to have a separate boat attached by a cable so it won't vibrate. But Elon Musk is a smart man. Maybe he'll figure something else out. I apologize for the crude nature of that stop motion clip I just did. I've been working on it for the last couple hours. I had to make all these little pieces. I really don't know how many of you are interested in this kind of stuff as I am. It's just because it's something I enjoy. Obviously, I'm gonna make the videos. I was watching the launch last night of the Starlink satellite, and the feed didn't cut out. It was one of those rare occasions where you get to watch the whole thing come down, and it immediately dawned on me, and I bet people were probably wondering why. So I thought that I would share that information with you. Hopefully now you know something. God, the sun. hopefully today you learned something that you didn't know. That was the idea of this video anyways. So I get questions all the time. How's the movie coming? How's the movie coming? And it is coming. I'm actually right this second kind of in a middle portion where I've shot footage and I've also started editing at the same time. I'm not done shooting footage, which obviously means I'm not done editing. Right now, it's taken me longer to do than I expected. I'd never done anything like this before, let me just say. And of course, thinking it over in my head, and the idea of what I wanted to do in my head sounded in my head a lot easier than it actually was. It's been really time consuming, and it was a lot more than I originally thought that it was going to be. Now, don't get me wrong, it was fun. I've loved every minute of it so far. I just didn't. When I was planning for it, I was saying, hopefully it'll only take me a couple weeks, and it's taken much longer than that, unfortunately, to get what I wanted. At the same time, I have been making these videos on a regular basis, which takes up huge chunks of the day. It's not like these things just come together within an hour's time. These videos take up hours out of a day, and then, of course, the days where I go to the doctor, that takes up long days. Days when it's raining and it's gloomy outside, I can't shoot because I have to have the same lighting conditions throughout. It's just taking longer than I expected with all the factors involved. And I didn't plan for all that in my head. I was just thinking I'd be able to get the shots, sit down and edit it and be done, and it just didn't turn out like that. But so that's where we are with the movie. A lot of you have been asking and saying you're ready to see it, because I have been getting a lot of questions what's going on with it. Hopefully that fills you in and lets you know what's going on. So pretty much that's it for this one. I just wanted to talk about SpaceX and why their transmission cuts out when the Falcon 9 rockets land on their drone ships. We did that, and then I got to update you on where the movie's at. So still been a fun episode. Those stop motion scenes, I don't know if any of you have ever done stop motion before. I like the way they turn out, but they're so time consuming to make. I mean, it takes hours for like a 10-second clip. If you're like me though, and you like the movie making aspect of it, it's fun though. I enjoy it. Again, hopefully you learned something today as it comes to that. You probably don't care, to be honest. Most of you probably don't care. But, I still felt like I would share the information with you. That's going to do it for this episode today. I want to thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it, guys. You just don't know how much I appreciate it. If you're new here, click that subscribe button. And you can take it a step further. Hit the notification bell icon. That way you get notified every time I upload a video. If you want to help support the channel, check out the links down in the description box below. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at RealBamaMike. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow. I hope you have a great day. Please stay safe and stay healthy.